o'clock, so we can start in.
Maybe we need to tell a few little anecdotal stories here while Ms. Hensley.
I don't know how to make it scroll back over to the other side. Maybe it's too big now.
Okay. So maybe that,
That's perfect.
just kind of like back and forth.
Oh, okay. That's fancy.
Finger. No, it's not. This is old technology.
Wait, how'd you do that again?
Don't put the, okay, so 2 fingers,
Oh,
2 fingers. Okay. You got it? That's why I had it small, so you could read these and that at the same time.
okay.
Now, we could, if we could move your column to first, the first one, there you go. All right. So, how's everybody doing today?
Give us a couple minutes. We'll.
Yeah, okay, plans for the
And
weekend.
I think the instructions for the day, as it relates to, Jenny's going to take us through, or in a few minutes, just take us through the spreadsheets. And as the council remembers, we'll look at everybody's independent allocations and look at the averages, and then come up with, all we're asking for today is a consensus on spending $130,000. And so ultimately, we'll have a vote at a future meeting so that we can, city attorney can advise the council at that future meeting, as required by law, of any potential conflicts, and we can pull those out. So we've talked to Angie about that, and she'll be prepared at the budget public hearing. We'll separate that out and do that separately so that we meet the requirements of the law. So.
Would conflict mean like somebody's on the board or something?
Yeah,
Does that mean-
if you're on the board or doing business, there's a very specific general statute now that was put forth by, I think, the state auditor, state treasurer. Again, looking at as it relates to people's roles on nonprofit boards and allocate.
There you go, you got it.
So, we'll-
So, would you mind sharing what those are? Like, obviously on the board, that makes sense, I get that. Doing business, I mean, do you mean like literally doing business, or like? if
So
you-
like, obviously, if we give money to a nonprofit and a council member has a business, and that council member,
So you're literally doing business?
yes.
So if you like, go have a meal at the Dandelion, that doesn't mean
No,
doing business with Safe.
I don't believe that would count, but I don't know if Angie wants to. But I like I said, we want to get very specific about that, but she's probably trying to pull it up on her phone.
I am.
No, and Angie.
I am. So there's 2 types of conflicts. One would be if you're serving on the board, and I haven't seen city council's responses this year to know if any of you are serving on the board or are an officer of any of the nonprofits that are on the list. But if you were, you wouldn't be able to consider that request. And so assuming you aren't, there would be no conflict there. The other type of
But
conflict,
is the you there individual you?
individuals.
Not the whole group?
Well, so this, you would have to recuse from, if you were on the board of a nonprofit that is being funded, you would not be able to participate in the discussion with regards to that nonprofit.
Okay.
And you wouldn't be able to vote on that nonprofit.
Right, but, okay.
And then if you are doing business for, like a contractor with a nonprofit, it could, depending on the circumstances, be a conflict. It's not automatically a conflict. And so I need some more time to evaluate those depending on the individual circumstances associated with each one. So
And
that's why I'm not prepared to talk about that today.
if we individually are patrons of any of these, that is not a conflict?
No, sir.
Okay.
The fact that you give money to them?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
No, sir.
Okay.
No, I mean, the things you want to avoid are, in general, in conflicts, are avoiding any type of gift or favor in return for awarding a contract, having a business interest in it, or just potentially doing business with.
Right.
And that one's very fact-specific.
What about volunteering?
No problem.
Good question. Okay.
That is a very good question, no problem. So,
And I would assume if you worked for them,
oh, right.
obviously, you could not vote on that.
Well, I think if you were, it depends on what you did for them. but
I mean,
generally.
like if you were an employee, if you literally worked for them.
If you're an officer or director, it falls under the statute. Beyond that, you'd have to look at it.
Okay.
Any more questions?
Got it? Roll it.
It's gonna get ugly.
Is that today?
That part. So read the below and then tap on the.
You can
picture.
read that. Holy cow.
It's the, well, you might have to just tap on it
Oh,
and then make it bigger.
Are you ready to go? I think we're ready to go, so,
Yeah. Do we want to wait till Lindsay?
oh,
gets
yeah,
back?
yes. Sorry.
You're okay.
I didn't realize we lost her.
forensic accountants, never good when you called him in. I could have been like going to jail badly, yeah.
Hi.
Good afternoon.
I'm the problem, it's me.
No, no one, it's not a problem, it's a process.
It is. All right, so as John stated, we're not looking for a definitive answer today, but definitely some direction. Just to give us a reminder, there's 2 discretionary buckets and then that full funding list.
She's on the top,
The
what people have.
budgeted amount for the arts, culture, and recreation is $32,500. There's $119,000 in total requests, and right now, the council average is $34,095. So we've got about $1,600 that we need to think about shaving off.
Oh, that's right there.
And then for the life quality and economic services, 97.5 is the goal. Right now, we're sitting at about 266 in requests. We do have a bit of wiggle room for this category. Right now, the council average is just under $86,000.
Or we could choose to shift
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
some, since the overall number is within range.
Yes.
That is the first.
It is.
We're under the amount, the first time, that's the first ever. Maybe that's one advantage of having the buckets is,
So we need to shave at the top or add. So we need to add, you need $1,600, $1,595, and then you still have some money at the bottom to allocate. Or, I mean, you could,
in total, we're like about 10,000 short of getting all.
Yeah, it looks like we're sitting right now at about 119, 120, so about 10,000.
I guess on the top level, my only request is that we give the shuffleboard people the 1,200 they requested. They just turn around to give it back to us. It's a minor amount.
I support, well, I put 1,200 on mine.
I can agree with that.
Okay.
Thank you.
She's looking at that one there.
so I guess the question here is, do you want to bring up, Jenny at the top, we're short 21, do you want to bring that up? Or do you want to reduce what you have there now?
You mean reduce?
John, I think we're okay as long as the total.
Oh, as long as.
Yeah, the overall,
I see
yeah.
what you're doing. I thought, okay.
Yeah, the overall, we've still got about $10,000 to allocate.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, sorry,
you're okay. It's, yeah, the way that it's laid out is a bit.
So do we want to add anything, or are we satisfied with the level we?
Well, I'll mention one, and that is from way back. So Barbara, I need your help with this. We've just kind of had an agreement with Blue Ridge Humane Society to help with spaying and neutering. And we've had a relationship with them a long time. And I know that they help us somehow with animal control. And they provide services that we don't provide. So if we were going to add something, I would argue add something to that one, just because historically, they kind of helped our animal control services.
because there now, if you remember, they run the spay and neuter program, whereas
Right.
the Savinis used to do that, and that
Took it over.
Blue Ridge, so that does, they do have money for they do have the vouchers for spay and neuter.
I support that. How much are you wanting to go to the full
mean,
amount or not?
Oh, no, I'm just saying, maybe add another 1,000, make it even 3,000, something like that, I don't know. Just, we're looking for places, and I was gonna mention that one.
I would say to go to 5. That's half of what they're asking for.
Can I tell y'all, council, another thing that they're doing, Blue Ridge now has a shelter, animal shelter at Safe Light that they're funding too. So that's a new thing they've added this year.
Yeah, because otherwise those pets just end up like out anyway.
Well, a lot of people won't seek shelter services because they won't leave their pets. So that's why they've created that, and that's a partnership that the two of them are having this year.
I will support whatever addition we add to it.
I'd go with 5.
While we are discussing these, I do just want to disclose that I am working on projects with the Boys and Girls Club, Camplify, and Literacy Connection, which was formerly Blue Ridge Literacy Council.
So when we get to a vote
Okay,
at the June meeting,
okay.
we will have checked the conflicts and make sure we do it appropriately.
So in other words, if for whatever reason Lindsay is conflicted on this, we would vote on the other ones and then vote on those separately.
That's right, we would pull those out.
I would like to increase the amount for medical loan closet. They provide a humongous service to the community. Like, if your child fractures their leg or something and they need a wheelchair, you can just go there and they're so awesome and they're so helpful and they're just really good. And there's other situations other than fractures, but, it's affected my family a couple times.
So I can speak personally, when I had my hips replaced, all the gizmos and gadgets I got from there.
Yeah. And people's insurance, a lot of times, or if they are uninsured, don't cover crutches or a walker or a wheelchair. And, or if their insurance does cover that, it's a really large deductible or out-of-pocket expense. And so the fact that they can get those items, I think, is really helpful. So.
How many city residents do they serve? Does anybody know that?
It should be in their application.
So I would like to do 3,000.
I
what they're
can
asking.
get behind that.
I can as well. To answer your question, Debbie, is there a way that is in the application, right?
They're
What?
pulling-
But
they're-
I don't know, are you looking it up?
They're racing to see who can get it first.
How many city residents do they serve?
Oh.
So Debbie asked.
It's on like the second page, I think, of the application. It might be on the third page.
Do you see a problem with funding more than the request. A couple of them
Have more.
were offering more money than they're asking.
Yeah, we
Oh,
should,
I didn't even see
we
that.
should be funding what they request,
Yeah, I think we
not
should-
extra. So
Yeah,
maybe
'cause-
modify that category.
We could take the extra and put it in somebody else.
I would agree with you, it's just on policy that, because then you could, then we could just give one to people that didn't even file an application, which we don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Of all the pictures, taking a picture while we're doing this. So now we got to still,
The wait list at St. Gerard House is very, very long with the amount of people that they are trying to serve, and still just not enough to go around, essentially. So I would recommend fully funding St. Gerard House's request.
I can support that.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
Can we, so what is the total amount that we are giving to IAM?
Oh,
Because I know there's another line way down of IAM, right?
no, that's it.
I thought we, yeah,
Interfaith-
there was another one.
I'm sorry, you
Yeah,
meant
sorry,
on-
yeah.
not on special appropriations. Right, excuse me.
So that line item is for utility bill assistance,
Okay.
and the other line item is for rental assistance and other assistance for low-income families.
And they continue to serve a lot of families, especially now they have that service where you can walk around and shop and then get more of the items that you actually specifically need versus what somebody gives you. And so I don't know how much more we feel comfortable going, but I mean,
Can you, could you just scroll up 1 second to the other line, group, the other bucket? And just remind everybody, there is one up there as well, even though I know we're kind of fudging on our preset limits, but just remind everybody there's both groups. I don't have anyone to point out, but in case there's something somebody wanted to speak to.
wait, is the Lapidary Museum?
Lapidary,
Oh, Lapidary.
yeah, it's on there.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, my eyes jump from line to line sometimes.
So there's $100 there for Latino Advocacy Coalition, but they didn't file an application, correct? I mean, it does seem to me that
Yeah.
if you don't file an application, yeah, we should not, right. I feel like I've advocated for one. I think it's, that's why I'm not saying anything, 'cause there may be another one somebody else would like to advocate for.
Maybe we should scroll back down and
Yeah.
you got 7488 there. Well, a little bit less.
About 5,000 left total.
Yeah, 5,000 total, yeah.
I would like to increase the amount of IAM by $5,000.
That sounds good to me.
That hits our
Is
limit,
there
so.
anyone, y'all didn't really chime in on one. Are y'all good? And Debbie? Okay, fine.
All right.
All right, very good.
Thank you.
So we have come to the end of our agenda. We've gotten all the guidance we need from city council. Do want to remind folks in the public and in the room, we have a lot of great resources on the budget website page and different dashboards and housing and different things you can see about what's going on in the city. If there's any additional discussion items, we'd be happy to go back to them at this point. But we're ready to move forward and bring you a recommended budget at your June June regular meeting.
Yeah, we got an hour and a half. We're welcome to sit here and look at each other if you want to.
What is the cost of service map? What is that?
That is the one
not
with
a
the
link there?
the towers
That's the
of,
tower map.
Oh, that's the tower map.
You wanna
Okay.
leave it
Yeah.
on there to
No, no,
close
no,
up?
no, no.
Yes.
No, I meant, no, that's the tower map.
absolutely.
Okay,
Should leave it
gotcha.
on there for exiting.
That's on the website?
That is not on the website, but there's a mobile link to it. We don't have that one as a dashboard.
Okay, okay. But that would be what you would look for to find that.
That's correct.
Cost of service map, okay.
So the June, we're talking about the June meeting,
Yes, ma'am.
or,
We'll have a public hearing. Yes, ma'am, we'll have a public hearing. Let me just, for the public, I'll confirm that date. It is June 1st.
first.
June 1st will be your budget public hearing. We'll ask for formal adoption of the budget and the budget ordinance and a few other things that night associated with the budget. But at this point, we'll balance it based on your direction and have it ready to publish it for the public and put it out there.
Well, I'd like to say thank you to everybody involved in preparing this. It's a lot of information, a whole lot of
A
information.
lot of work went into preparation.
Yeah, it did.
To whittle this down to simplified things that we can understand, so. Well, I mean, I wasn't just saying it's a lot of information, so thank you very much for doing all that, and the charts and colors and all that stuff.
Great job, team.
All right. Anything else? We're adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.